Hey everyone, my name's Aaron, aka Flash Kiwi. I'm here today to talk to you about hair loss and how to deal with it, how to regrow it, and to take you through what I'm have just started off doing myself, and that has been onion juice therapy, onion, garlic, as well as apple cider vinegar, with a few other bits and pieces blended in. Just a little bit about me and my hair loss. I first started noticing my hair loss in my late 20s, probably about 29, just before I was 30. And looking back, my hair loss really did start when I was about 25. But it was so subtle. It was so subtle that I didn't really notice it until I hit my late 20s and got a new job where there was a little bit more stress, more responsibility, and I started shredding like crazy. My temples were itchy, and my hairline started to recede and thin, as well as a little bit on my crown as well, but not so bad. So I am one of those, how should I say, itchy variety in terms of hair loss. I'm not so much a diffuse thinner. I do think there's two different styles of hair loss, and obviously the diffuse thinning and then the style like myself. So, but either way, what I'm doing at the moment in terms of the onion therapy applies to both styles of hair loss. So, as I say, my early 30s was when it started to shed, so I panicked and flocked to the internet like everybody else to try and find a solution. I found that I was most comfortable going with Minox, so I ordered a generic version of Minox, 5%, started applying that, and there was a degree of recovery. I did later switch to Lipogain, not that that's a plug, but it appears to be the best quality Minox out there. I looked at other forms of therapy. I did look at the Propitias and the DUT, the Fin. I wasn't comfortable taking that. It was just too much of a risk for me. I felt it wasn't worth taking that path and worrying about the side effects. So I stuck to the Minox. Mainly, the only chemicals I was taking was obviously the Minox on my head topically, and that was it. I also looked at my lifestyle and cut out wheat gluten. I was diagnosed as a gluten intolerant, so I cut that out as well. However, recently I found that I had a candida issue, which I feel has been part of my hair loss as well this last few years. So I went on a candida detox, and that had some pretty negative effects in terms of what my body went through on my hair. So all the gains that I'd made over the last few years have been blown away in the last few months. So my temples started to recede again. Minox wasn't effective so much anymore, even though I'm still taking it. So that was a big issue. So I had to look at other areas. Once I got off my anti-candida diet, now I'm focused on getting it back in terms of the onion therapy. I did look at the onion therapy a couple of years ago. I wasn't that committed to it, so I didn't really get into it, unfortunately. I did get into inversion therapy. I got myself an inversion style table, and I was using that as well as getting a dermaneedle. Not the normal roll one, but the actual punch. I've got that one here. So, and I'll show that to you in a later video. I will upload a bit more in-depth details about my routine. So what I'm going to do is, and I have already started this week, but I thought I'd better post this video for those who want to keep track and form their own opinion about how effective this is. There is another gentleman out there by the name of Stefan. Please look him up on YouTube. I've watched all of his videos, and he's taken part in the onion therapy and shown some incredible results, really, especially when it comes to the amount of investment you have to put in terms of money. You only have to invest your time and have some faith, and the effects can be quite dramatic. So a big shout out to Stefan. Please keep posting your videos. You've certainly been inspiration for me, and I thought I would post my own videos around what I'm about to do, just so it was another opinion for everyone to give it a go, and to draw their own conclusion about whether it's worth it, or that's effectively what I want to do. So I'll give some follow-ups as well. So onto the therapy itself, I've done about 2 applications so far. I also incorporating the dermaneedle as well, and I did that for the first time yesterday, last night. So I did the dermaneedling through my forehead and in behind the hairline, and then I applied the topical onion juice, and that was effectively blended 2 onions into the juice, 6 cloves of garlic, around 15 mils of apple cider vinegar, and then added about 20 drops of rosemary oil and tea tree oil as well. The reason why I've added the oils is it's very good for anti-yeast conditions that are on your head, and those like me that suffer from dandruff and flaky skin. Obviously that's a sign that you've got yeast issues, or it manifests itself in your hair, and of course leads to hair loss as well. So I've made sure that I've put those 2 key oils into the mixture as well, and I apply that. Now, how often do I apply it? I'm going for every evening in terms of the onion juice alone, or every evening that I can manage to do. So I might do 3-4 evenings in a row, then get held up. I can't do the next 2 evenings after that. So that's why I feel like I need to do it every day. So if I get interrupted for the next couple of days, it's not too bad to get back onto it after 1 or 2 nights. That's fine. Obviously people say at least 3 times a week is good. I'm an advocate of that. However, obviously, if you get interrupted during that week, maybe it only turns into twice a week, and so hence that's why I do it every day if I can. If I've got time to watch the telly, then I've got time to put the onion juice on my head. Okay, so one thing also, when you do apply the onion juice, is give it a good shake with each turn that you use it. Because of the essential oils tend to rise to the top of the mixture, and they don't emulsify very well with the onion juice, so you've got to give it a good shake. I also use not a plastic vial to keep them in. I use just a glass vial. It seems to keep better in a glass container is fine. Keep it in the fridge as well, so that's good. I did start off with what is it called, emu oil as well, blending a little bit of emu oil with a mixture, which is quite harmless and does help with absorption. My only problem I've found with that is you put emu oil in the fridge and it tends to harden, it tends to get a lot thicker and claggy. So when you pull the mixture out of the fridge and go to apply it to your head, then you have problems because it's risen to the top and it's quite thick. So, but outside of that, you can use emu oil in the mixture as well to help for absorption. I will be dermaneedling around twice a week. Every 3 to 4 nights I will apply the dermaneedle on my forehead and behind my hairline, and then apply the topical onion. I tend to throw my head right back when I'm applying it so it doesn't run down my forehead. You don't want onion juice in your eyes, believe me, and also when it runs back through your scalp, that's really good. Use a very good topical applicator, like the Minox applicator, and just go straight to your scalp. Don't worry about having to wet your hair. You don't really need to wet your hair. It'll get wet anyway, but apply it directly to your scalp. That's what you need to do. Your hair will benefit from it anyway because it'll get wet anyway. You can't help but saturate your hair, but try and focus on your scalp. It's a bit better when you've got shorter hair. Today, when I'm posting this video, I tried to go and get a haircut. Unfortunately, it's Easter, so I missed out on that. But in a few weeks' time, when I do I'll probably get a haircut this week, and then my next round, when I get another haircut, I'll come back and release another video around this. That's just about all. If you do kick this off, try and use a calendar if you can. Note down on every week, every night that you apply it. Note the date. If you're doing derma rolling or derma needling, also make a note of that. Use just a couple of marker pens and just get an old calendar and put a couple of different colors, one for derma needling or any other therapy that you happen to be doing, so you can look back and track your progress, and you can see where you've fallen off the wagon a little bit as well if that takes place. So that's really important to try and do that. It helps you give it more of a clinical scientific focus, and you do feel good, a bit more confidence about what you're doing. I'm posting this video, so number one, it's a discipline for me to have follow-ups and to work hard towards the next follow-up, and also for those to see how effective it is and to form their own opinions and own judgments. So yes, let's give it a go. And as I say, I've been doing it for the last few days. 2 applications of the onion juice to my head. I will show you briefly my hairline, and I will take photographs as well of my hairline. So those photographs I will maybe put in a montage later on, maybe in 8 or 9 months, because obviously that's how long you need. You can't just give yourself a month or even 3 months, not even 6 months. You've really got to give yourself a good 9 months up to a year. You've got to be patient with this stuff. And with my gains in the past on my inversion table and the derma needle that I've been using, I've noticed it's taken several months for me to show the thickness coming up through your hair. And it tends to come from the back to the front, so that's why you don't notice it from the beginning. Anyway, I will show you my hairline now. I'll do my best to show you in this light. I've set up the lighting conditions so it's more or less the same time of day next time I shoot the video, and the lighting is the same. And let's just see how we go, and I'll show you my hairline now. Okay, that's not such a bad side, but it has gone back the last, as I said, the last 2 months with my anti-candida diet, which has been absolutely heartbreaking. You can see that blood blister there, which is just part of my skin, which is a good indicator for future comparisons. I've also got a lot of vellus hair here that you can't see. It's quite furry and white, so my hair follicles are definitely dormant, where I can see the furry and feel the furry hairs. They are definitely there. Coming across through the top there, it's quite thin at the front. Let me get this angle correct. Excuse me, it's a bit hard when you're doing it in front of the PC, so it's quite reasonably thin there. And we need to go around to this side as well. This side used to be my worst side. The other side seems to be catching up with it, but again, I want to see if I can thicken up this area. Note again the blood blister roughly around about there, which is a good indicator for future comparisons, future videos and photographs. In the meantime, yes, I will get on with my therapy. I'll be applying it, as I say, every day, as much as I can, every day if I can, and derma needling at least twice a week. Otherwise, I'll be posting some other videos, mainly more in depth about the derma needle, some other passive applications that I use as well about my hair loss. And as I say, when I get my next haircut in probably 6 to 8 weeks time, I will post a progress video as well. Otherwise, give it a go if you're keen to. It's quite harmless. Just before I go, actually, I've just remembered the onion juice does sting if you do use it after the derma needler. after the dermaneedle, just a little bit. It's not too bad, but of course it depends on how deep you go with the needle. But I will discuss that as well in another video. So otherwise, all the best. We'll see you again soon.